Today we're talking about production hacks. What do I do to save time? And like all good hacks, it sounds like I'm lazy, but really it ends up being good production. What is it? Well, stay tuned to find out. Hi, I'm Jenn Sandercock, and this is Jen's generally good game production advice. I'm a games producer who loves helping teams ship their games on time, on budget, with a happy team. In this advice column, I respond to game developers who are having problems with their teams and their games. Why should you listen to me? Well, I could tell you all of the years I've spent in the games industry, the titles I've shipped, awards I've won, but I'm a producer and I really don't like tooting my own horn. I want to tell you about my amazing teams I work with. So I guess listen to me because, I don't know, maybe something might be useful here. All right, let's get into it. Today's question is, I want to know what your favorite production hack is. Thanks for the question, excited producer. Well, after reading this initially, my brain just went off in some other totally different direction, and I started to think about all of the hacks that could break the games production and games industry, or something along those lines. But I'm pretty confident what was actually intended by the question is this definition. A hack is an inelegant but efficient solution. Well, a lot of production is actually not very hacky at all. It's a lot of grunt work where you're talking to everyone on the team to understand what's going on. You're adding in tasks, you're updating tasks, and generally doing a whole bunch of stuff that the team may never notice unless it isn't done. So it was a little bit of a struggle to think about what I could share until I remembered the biggest thing I do, which is I don't stress about getting the correct official terminology, and I don't stress about executing a process exactly as defined in a book or even as I defined it to my team at the beginning of some initial plan that I come up with. This may sound like I'm being lazy and that I haven't been properly trained in production, but in the end, my way works because it comes down to a few factors. Number one, there is no perfect way to make games. It will change depending on your game genre, team size, funding source, remote policies, company culture, development phase, and so much more. Number two, terminology is super inconsistent across the games industry. For example, many people can't agree on what should be in an alpha build, and there doesn't even seem to be consensus on whether the alpha build comes at the beginning or end of an alpha phase. Where is being in alpha mean? It is good to learn terms and techniques from other people to get more tools in your toolbox. But even when you decide to use something that seems official, you'll have to define everything from scratch since your team may have different interpretations or may not have encountered that term before. By defining everything, it does get us all on the same page about what we're going for. And then the name of what we're talking about can just be made up by team members even, which actually, as a bonus, gives them ownership over the process and helps them engage with it more. Number three, no plan survives contact with the enemy. Well, in this case, that plan that we're talking about is your supposedly perfect production process, and the enemy here is actually your wonderful colleagues who aren't the enemy at all. So, and the reason I say this is because it's very difficult to predict the needs of every unique person on your team. So if you dictate a hyper-specific process up front and then you refuse to change it later, your team will likely disengage, ignore you, and then more problems are just going to keep stacking up. It's much better to customize a solution plan and then as the team tries it out, learn what's working and what could be better and iterate on your solution and keep iterating until it's time to shelve that solution and move on to an entirely new process. So, in summary, definitely spend time learning from books, talks, mentors, other producers, and of course absorbing my generally good advice. But it's much more important to listen to your team. Dissect current processes, customize solution plans for this team working on this game at this point in the development cycle, and then iterate to improve your plan. It does bring me to an extra bonus hack I do. I ask the team for solutions and suggestions rather than trying to come up with anything myself. That's all we've got time for today. Thank you for being here. Remember, this is general advice, and it might not be right for you and your team, even if you're the person who asked the question. For me to help better, it needs to be a dialogue between me and you and your whole team. And it turns out you can hire me. Just go to jensan.com. Remember to like and subscribe, and if you have your own burning question, please ask it. Here's the form. It's jensan.com/askjen. Thank you. Goodbye.